It almost reaches the corpus callosum. There's a blood vessel here. What blood vessel is that? Medial surface of the brain. Anterior cerebral. Here would be the tentorium. They'll talk about, when they talk about tumors, whether they're infratentorial or supratentorial, above. Infratentorial tumors tend to be more common in children. You know, brain cancers tend to be more common in children in general, but they recover easier from it because of plasticity. What are most brain tumors made of? What cells can multiply? Glia. They're gliomas. This one is nice because you can kind of see the ventricles. This, going down in here, is the lateral ventricle. It goes back that way and front this way. It's basically C-shaped. This, it's broken here, but there's a thin film of tissue here called the septum pellucidum. Going from the another thing that you can see right here, some choroid plexus that makes CSF. There's more down in here too. Going from the lateral ventricle into the third ventricle is the interventricular foramina of Monro. This is the third ventricle between the two thalami. In fact, this one has one of those connections between the two thalami called a massa intermedia. It doesn't really have any functional significance. It's just because they're so close, they get kind of stuck together. From the third ventricle, we go through the cerebral aqueduct. This is the midbrain. Here's the superior colliculus, the inferior colliculus. This is the tegmentum. So there's the cerebral aqueduct. And see, this is a really narrow space. So a stenosis or narrowing of the cerebral aqueduct can cause a blockage of CSF flow. And that's one of the usual causes of congenital hydrocephalus. In that case, either a blockage or a severe stenosis there. That would be non-communicating hydrocephalus because the ventricles aren't communicating. Coming down here, we come to the fourth ventricle for the pons and the medulla. And then, you can almost see it come down here. We're continuous with the central canal of the spinal cord. Also in the fourth ventricle region, we can't see them. There is one midline hole and two lateral holes up under and that way that lead to the subarachnoid space. So we would have underneath the dura, there would be the arachnoid, which has a lot of webbing and stuff in it, has a lot of little veins and things, and it would have cerebrospinal fluid in it. Now, CSF is made in the choroid plexes. There's a lot of choroid plexus in this region and in the lateral ventricles. So it's made here. Here we have the lateral ventricles. We go through the interventricular foramen, into the third, into the aqueduct, into the fourth, down the central canal, into the subarachnoid space. But remember, this dura is continuous with this dura. So it extends into the subarachnoid space surrounding the spinal cord too. The CSF leaves the brain by, there are little things that poke out into the dural venous sinuses. This is kind of hard to see, but see these little things that look like whiteheads? I can't hold it in this, and this, and this. There's one here. Those are your arachnoid granulations.